Hello everybody, CritCrab here with another story, this one about a druid that actually tricked his DM into allowing Pokemon in his own campaign right under his nose. Roll post. A while ago, I was looking to start a new D&D campaign. I was the DM to run the homebrew world I created. The only problem was that I recently moved into another town and the people I usually played with were about an hour away now and our schedules didn't line up anymore. So I decided to create a few posts looking for players. I had 5 players join my game and the interesting thing was that they were all women playing female characters.
Not scientifically possible!
This never happened before, so I found it funny but didn't think much of it besides that. And one of these players was Molly. You see, Molly had an interesting character concept. She was a druid from an organization who rescued animals from a military that was experimenting on them, turning them into mutant weapons of war. The organization's headquarters was an airship and they were known as the airship crew. She also asked if she can flavor her spells so she could summon the mutant animals to cast the spells instead of her just casting them. I agreed as I thought it was a fun idea. When I asked what her character looked like, she sent me a picture of James from Pokemon. I was confused and said James is a man, to which Molly replied, "Yeah, I know, but my character is a woman that looks like a man." Again, I didn't question it because she was technically a criminal who needed to hide in plain sight. Well, it comes to our session 0 to finally meet up and play the game as this would be the first time meeting each other outside of messages. One by one, all of the players showed up with Molly being last. And none of us expected what happened next. You see, we were under the impression that the entire party was all female for a femme fatale style game, but Molly was a man, and when I say man, I mean 100% male. There was no mistaking it. He was large, he had facial hair, and he acted like it. Now, just know none of us have a problem with trans players in D&D. It was just the fact that we were told Molly was a woman when he obviously was not. Maybe if we were told beforehand, we wouldn't have cared, but at this point we all felt kinda weird about the situation. Well, we all moved past this, and now it's time to play. They get into their first combat encounter, and the first thing Molly does is yell, "I summon Squirtle!" We all laughed as we thought it was pretty funny, but Molly wasn't joking. I told Molly that Pokemon don't exist in this world, but Molly just laughed and said, "Yes they do, you allowed it." And before I could respond, it all hit me at once. The mutant animals the military created for fighting were Pokemon. The airship crew was Team Rocket, and Molly was playing James. I insisted that I was not aware that this was what he had intended to play, so I can't allow it, to which he replied, "Well, I'm just gonna call them Pokemon anyways." I eventually had to explain that it was very immersion breaking and that if he was just going to keep up with it, he was gonna have to leave. This got him to stop, but it wasn't the end of the BS he presented. You see, Molly was a neutral good druid who tried to kill everything and acted chaotic neutral. The character that I was presented with was not the one that he had brought to the table. Molly even brought in real-world politics into the game. One of my game rules is that you leave real-world issues behind before playing. For example, a carriage driver didn't trust half-orcs because the town he was from was under constant threat of orc raids. So naturally, Molly said, "You're racist." Or when a villager didn't understand the fact Molly's character was a woman that looked like a man, as that concept wouldn't be well understood in this setting, she accused that villager of being transphobic, even though transphobia wasn't even really a thing in this setting. Eventually, I just had enough of it and kicked Molly out of the game, much to everyone's approval. And that was the last time we ever heard of Molly, and hopefully the last time Team Rocket would be blasting off again. TLDR? Player tricks DM and party into thinking he was a woman and allowing Pokemon into the setting. End post. I have to admit, I do find the prospect of tricking the DM into allowing Pokemon into the game kinda funny and not really all that problematic, as the DM clearly didn't take issue with it until Molly insisted that they were Pokemon. Perhaps if Molly wasn't so destructive and annoying about forcing it, nobody would have even noticed that they were Pokemon. Nevertheless, Pokemon-themed D&D sounds like a ton of fun, and if you agree, then I think you'll get a kick out of Pokemon 5e. It's basically what you get when Pokemon fans and D&D fans team up to merge their favorite games. I'll link it in the description if that tickles your fancy. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this one. Till next time.